On a foggy winter morning, December 1st, 1938, the Bluffdale Riverton route school bus, driven by 29-year-old Farrold Silox, set out to transport children to Jordan High School. What began as a routine trip quickly turned into a horrific tragedy, marking one of the darkest days in the history of American motor vehicle accidents. This article provides a comprehensive account of the events leading up to the accident, the tragic collision, and its aftermath. Farrold Silox was a seasoned bus driver who had driven the Bluffdale and Riverton route for 3 years. He was familiar with every twist and turn of the narrow county roads and had memorized the names and addresses of all the children who rode his bus. Silox was known for his punctuality and his caring attitude toward the students. The morning of December 1st was typical for a Utah winter, roads covered with a light dusting of snow and a low fog hanging near bodies of water and ground depressions. Despite the challenging conditions, Silox was confident in his ability to safely navigate the route. The weather and road conditions. Winter weather in Utah often presents challenges for drivers, with icy roads and fog reducing visibility. On that particular morning, the conditions were especially hazardous. The light snow created a slippery surface, and the fog reduced visibility to just a few feet in certain areas, particularly near the open bodies of water and depressions in the ground. Silox was well aware of these conditions and took extra precautions. He reduced speed and drove carefully, making sure the children were safe. The bus was filled with the usual chatter and laughter of children, unaware of the impending danger. The Flying Ute, a Denver and Rio Grande Western freight train with 51 cars, was northbound and behind schedule by over an hour. The train was trying to make up for lost time. Its engineer and crew were pushing hard to regain their schedule, adding to the tension and urgency of their journey. The Flying Ute was a significant train on the Denver and Rio Grande Western line, often carrying essential goods and cargo across the state. The delay meant that the crew was under pressure to reach their destination on time, a factor that would later play a crucial role in the tragic collision. Farrold Silox had crossed the rural railroad tracks hundreds of times over the past 3 years. He knew the train schedules well and had never encountered a train at this particular crossing during his morning route. That familiarity perhaps led to a sense of security that would prove fatal. On that foggy morning, as Silox approached the crossing, the visibility was severely limited. The dense fog and the urgency of the Flying Ute's crew to make up for lost time converged into a disastrous moment. Silox failed to see the northbound Flying Ute until the bus was already on the tracks. The school bus was struck broadside by the Flying Ute, splitting it in half. The impact was devastating. The larger portion of the bus was thrown 40 yards northwest of the crossing, scattering the bodies of children on both sides of the tracks. The cab of the bus was carried on the front of the locomotive for a distance of 2,000 feet down the track. Several children and Silox were trapped inside the cab. The scene was chaotic. Bodies were strewn across the tracks, and the cries of the injured filled the air. The force of the collision was so great that it left black marks on the pavement, and the bus was nearly unrecognizable. The tragedy unfolded within seconds, leaving little time for anyone to react. Patrolman Bob Howard was one of the first responders to the scene. His account provides a harrowing glimpse into the immediate aftermath of the collision. "It was horrible," he recalled. "Your heart was aching, but there was no time for remorse. We had a job to do. There were lots of children who were badly hurt and who would expire in short order if we didn't keep our wits about us." Howard and other responders faced a scene of unimaginable devastation. They worked tirelessly to search through the wreckage for survivors, battling their own emotions as they came across the bodies of children. For Howard, the tragedy was deeply personal. He found his niece and nephew among the wreckage. "I guess I was kind of numb from that point on," he said. "As a patrolman, you soon learn just how fragile life really is." The collision resulted in the deaths of 25 children and the bus driver, making it the nation's worst motor vehicle accident at that time. The community was left in shock and mourning as the extent of the tragedy became clear. The loss of so many young lives in a single incident was almost too much to bear. Families waited anxiously for news, and as the names of the deceased were released, the collective grief of the community deepened. The incident left a scar that would be felt for generations, with the memory of that tragic morning lingering in the hearts of those who lived through it. An investigation was immediately launched to determine the cause of the accident and to prevent such tragedies in the future. Authorities examined the conditions leading up to the collision, including the weather, the actions of the bus driver, and the schedule of the train. The investigation revealed several critical factors. The icy road conditions and dense fog played a significant role in reducing visibility. Additionally, the urgency of the Flying Ute's crew to make up for lost time meant that the train was traveling faster than usual, adding to the danger at the crossing. In the wake of the tragedy, several safety measures were proposed to prevent similar incidents. These included better warning systems at railroad crossings, improved visibility measures, and stricter regulations for train schedules and speed limits near crossings. The tragedy also highlighted the need for better training and awareness among school bus drivers about the dangers of railroad crossings, particularly in adverse weather conditions. The importance of caution and vigilance in such situations became a key focus of driver education programs. The community of Bluffdale and Riverton came together in the aftermath of the tragedy, offering support and comfort to the grieving families. Vigils were held, and memorial services were organized to honor the lives lost. The sense of loss was profound, but so was the sense of solidarity. Local schools and organizations provided counseling and support for the affected families. The tragedy also sparked a broader conversation about safety and the need for better infrastructure to protect school children on their daily commutes. The Bluffdale Riverton school bus tragedy had a lasting impact on the community and on transportation safety policies across the country. The memory of the tragedy served as a constant reminder of the importance of vigilance and safety in preventing similar incidents. The incident also led to changes in regulations and the implementation of new safety measures at railroad crossings. These changes were aimed at ensuring that such a tragedy would never happen again. The legacy of the children and the driver who lost their lives became a driving force for improving safety standards. As time passed, the memory of the Bluffdale Riverton school bus tragedy remained a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of safety. The community continued to honor the memory of those lost, and the lessons learned from the tragedy helped shape a safer future for school children across the country. The story of Farrold Silox and the children on that bus serves as a powerful reminder of the unpredictable nature of life and the need for constant vigilance. It is a story of loss and sorrow, but also of resilience and the enduring human spirit. The Bluffdale Riverton school bus tragedy of December 1, 1938, remains one of the most devastating motor vehicle accidents in American history. The collision between the school bus and the Flying Ute freight train resulted in the loss of 26 lives, leaving a lasting impact on the community and shaping future safety measures. The tragedy serves as a stark reminder of the importance of safety and the need for constant vigilance in preventing similar incidents. The memory of those lost continues to inspire efforts to improve transportation safety and protect the lives of school children across the country.